Hey guys, how's it going? And we're back today in the redstone slash command block world. This is just another empty one. And today we're going to be going over a pretty simple concept that I've been getting a lot of questions about on my live streams recently about how I do it. This is how to make the compasses actually point towards a specific player. You see, the sad part is it's really limited. So we can only make the compass point towards maybe a specific player. We can't make it so I right click the like on on Hypixel or something like where you right click the compass and you pick somebody to track. You can make it right click the compass and do that stuff, but I can't have on vanilla you can't have it two separate compasses tracking two separate places. All the compasses will follow the same place. But it can be useful in mini games like the one that I've been working on recently that you can put in any world you want. It's supposed to be kind of like a hide and seek, except there's only one hider. And there's a function in it like later on in the game. Uh, when it gets close to the end of the time when the hider wins, all of the players' compasses will point towards where the hider is, and it'll constantly point towards where the hider is. Right now, the compass is just pointing towards the world spawn, as it normally should, and that's probably kind of the key feature. Compass points towards world spawn. So the obvious way to fix this, to do this, if you want the compass to point towards the word spawn, you're going to pick a certain player. Today we're going to pick me. So execute at Cloudwolf or at A, and then do set world spawn tilde tilde tilde. So if I do this and power it, check it out. Compass will always kind of point basically where I am. It'll start looking really weird. So you pick what entity you want to set the world spawn to, and it'll constantly set the world spawn to the entity. Now we're going to instead do @e name equals high. Okay, so we're going to summon an armor stand, or no, we'll summon a wolf with custom name high. Check this out. So here's high. And our compass, if you look at it, it's pointing towards high. And if I walk past him, our compass will turn around and point towards high still. So he's where our compass is pointing to. You can use this for a lot of mini games if you want to put a specific location players need to get to and give them a compass to help them get there. It's really useful. This is just a really simple concept. Now, the hardest part about this whole thing, hardest part about doing all of this, okay? It's not making the compass work. It's making your commands work with the compass. For example, check this out. So first off, see how it points to high. Ready? I'm going to fly all the way over here. Check this out. So those are gone. Okay. Now, compass is pointing this way. TP at E name equals high to at P. Okay. So high is near us. Okay. He's over there, right? We're going to fly this way some more. And that should bring him away. Okay. There you go. So eventually what you're going to see happen / world border at 1000. Okay. So if players are really far away, and if we give it a couple seconds, eventually it will work. Just give it a moment. What's going to happen is when I start, you'll notice so far it's still pointing to high. But if you go far enough away, or if you're far enough away from him, which can happen, eventually the chunks where the command block is saying is updating the location are going to become out of place. So here you go. Look, it's not pointing to high anymore. What's going on? It's not pointing to high. Now, it may have taken me a little bit to get there. Sorry about that. But as you can see, it's not pointing to high anymore. I mean, unless, of course, he's in the way of where it's supposed to be pointing. But it's not pointing to high like it should. And the reason for that is because when the command block that is supposed to be updating our compass gets out of the spawn chunks, it will essentially just, not work anymore, which kind of sucks. So let me teleport back to somewhere that I was at, probably. Let me do / game rule, keep inventory true / kill. And okay, we're back in here. Okay. So as you can see, that's a problem. So the way to fix this is pretty simple. Go into data, functions, and then go to something new. We'll just go inside, we'll just create a new folder right here. And we're going to create a new folder for whatever world we're doing. I'll just call it general. It doesn't matter. It depends on how you like to name things. It's just naming. And we're going to need a new text file. We'll just call it general because I'm just messing with things. And we're going to save it as all files and add .mc function to the end. If we save that, we will have a new file that's an MC function file. In the function file, that's where we're going to copy this, the hi, and we're going to put it in here, and we're going to save it, okay? So then we can type /reload, and we're going to do game rule, game loop function, general : general. Now what it's going to do now is, if I summon the hi again, where is it? It'll point to him again. So essentially what's happening is it's playing this over and over faster than that command block is playing, but I don't have the problem of it leaving the chunk that the command block is in because there's no command block. So you don't have to worry about the chunks that it's loaded in. So for this mini game, I have all of the actual command work happening in all of these files over here. I have all these files, I have all these files, and I have all these files. So when they're playing the game, all these files are running at the right time, not necessarily all of them at the same time, but they're all running, doing the checking for certain numbers and stuff like that. The command blocks that are in this thing, there's only a couple. And these ones you can ignore because these just set up the scoreboards. But these are the only commands that are running, and all these do are they teleport players that are in the lobby when they step on the teleporters. And they ready up, which is the same kind of thing. It's only when players are already in the loaded chunks of these command blocks. And if a player leaves, when they reconnect, they join here. Now, the only problem that you can see with this system is when the game ends, you're going to want to teleport players back to here. And if these armor stands here, and all this stuff is not in your loaded chunks, you're going to need the exact coordinate. And that was just one problem that I was having. But I just tell people to type in the exact coordinate in a certain place and we're good. But anyway, that's besides the fact. So this works really well, and this whole thing works as long as all of your game commands are inside a function. And if you don't know how to use functions, I really suggest you figure out how to use them. They're pretty simple. You just put a command in, except there's a couple differences to it. If you don't know it, there's a lot of tutorials out there. They're pretty easy to pick up on, and functions are really useful for mini games because you can do things like this. Like you can make the compass still point to the right place, and the commands won't be out of your world loaded command chunks, so they'll run no matter where you are, which is really good. I hope that made a little bit of sense to you guys. I just had a lot of people asking how to do this. Really simple, just one command. You execute it the right entity you want, and you do that. Additionally, if you're making a mini game, one little quick tip, guys. What I had to do for this one, so in mini games, oftentimes you have armor stands or dummy things that are holding all the scores. In this minigame, I have an armor stand right here, this one right here. He's holding all the scores, like testing for players. I use him to test for how many players are the game, use to test for if anybody leaves the game, use him to test pretty much everything. So what I had to do, because if he's not in my loaded chunks, I can't access him, even with the functions. So what I had to do is constantly teleport him to the person that I want the compass to point towards. So that's just one thing. So the compass actually is pointing towards this armor stand, who is above and constantly being teleported to the player who is supposed to be it, or who's the runner. But that's pretty much all I had to say, guys. This is just a really cool little concept, and also good to keep in mind that things need to be loaded in your chunks in order to have them work, and sometimes you got to find ways to work around it. Anyways, guys, I hope that rambling wasn't too much. Probably kind of long. Sorry about that. But anyways, if you liked it, leave a like on the video. I'm going to make probably the elevator video from previously to show how I did like an old style elevator eventually, but it's kind of long and complicated to do, so probably going to take me a little bit to organize it. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all later.